Hello, this is Will Taylor. I have not made a video for a while. The father has just been unpacking all kinds of stuff in my life, and I guess I had pride. It's the second, it's the second half of pride, and he made it known to me that the first half is all the outward appearance, all the prideful stuff that you don't even know you're doing. It's the physical walking out of prideful thoughts coming into being, basically. The other half, my goodness, the other half I had no idea was there. Had no idea. It was the inward side. It's the inward side of pride. It's the pride of the heart. And you can get rid of the pride that is on the outside. And the father got rid of that, and it was a spider. The first 4 legs of the spider were pride, oppression, generational curse of jealousy, and lust. And then 2 years later, at Sukkot, he gets rid of the inner pride, oppression, generational curse of jealousy. I don't know if that's generational, but it was definitely a curse of jealousy, or jealousy, demonic force jealousy, and lust. And so this was the second half of the spider, and of all 4 legs of the spider. And well, the dream was I was walking up the hill, and he says there's safety on the right. So I went all the way to the right. I was walking in the middle of the 2 yellow lines, and then I went all the way to the right. I was walking up the hill, and then I saw my truck on the left. Went over there. My truck was in the wrong, it was facing the wrong direction in that lane. It was making everybody go around my truck. It's pride. It's pride. Everybody goes around. Oh my gosh. And so inside of my truck was this spider, and it was huge. I mean, the legs on it, each leg was like this big, and it was in this big ball like thing, and I didn't even know what it was, like a furry thing in the back. And then it moved, and I saw it, and I screamed like a girl, and sorry, I screamed. and then I'm like, so the spirit blew on the spider, and it jumped out of the truck, and I jumped in the truck because I didn't want it out there with me. And then so that part was played out during Sukkot, the spirit blowing on the spider in the vehicle, and it jumped out. I'm on this journey, and I get to a house that's on the right, and scene changes, and I'm in the backyard, and I'm in this garden. There's an old man there, and he's being so careful, so tedious with every single plant that is in the backyard. And this soil is amazing. There's this dome covering the whole, this like glass dome that's covering the whole garden, and this soil smells amazing. I don't know how to describe it. It doesn't smell like soil, like a good solid, you've dug into the soil, and it smells the way soil smells, like that black amazing smell that soil brings. Not like that. It didn't smell like dirt. It smelled amazing, and I don't know how to describe it. Then I'm walking up to the gardener, and I notice that I'm walking on the soil, and it's so soft and it's so wonderful just to walk. It's so comfortable to walk on. But what I noticed is when I step and pick my foot up, the soil comes back. Like it doesn't leave an imprint. It's like the blackest, most beautiful soil that you could ever have. That's freshly tilled, that's just soft and fluffy and just amazing. But it wouldn't leave an imprint. If you walk on it, it won't leave an imprint. So I walk up to him, and he begins to talk to me. The old farmer guy begins to talk to me, and he's showing me how you have to tend the soil around each plant and tenderly care for it. Be very intimate with every part of this, the aspect of the soil, and how every part of the soil that's directly around this plant, and we were somewhere in the middle, is directly connected to every plant, even the ones on the farthest corners. Just everything is like, it is a direct connection, not indirect, which totally didn't make sense at all. So now we get to the sower of the seeds. The first seed was sown on the path, and the birds came down and they ate it. The second seed was sown on the rocky ground, where it grew up and the sun came out and it died off because it had no root in itself. The third seed landed on among thorns, and because of the deceitfulness of riches, it choked the seed, where it could not produce fruit. The fourth seed landed on good soil that yield 100-fold, 60-fold, and 30-fold. I believe that this soil that I was walking in this garden, was that soil. That soil is the time that the fourth living creature comes down, the face of the eagle comes down and is able to grow and yield 100-fold. He even says in there, if you don't understand this parable, how can you understand any parable? So as he's showing me that I now am in the garden in the dream, and he is explaining the soil to me, because the sower of the seeds is all about the heart, and how man's heart could be wicked above all things. And it isn't unless the Most High goes in and tends this soil and makes it so beautiful and so fragrant. Going back to Adam's time, I have a bug on my eyeballs. Where he came from. Going back to Adam's time, they were in the garden. They had one rule, and the Most High said, do not partake of the fruit of this tree. And because they did, he said, the ground will no longer yield its strength. Then you go to Noah, and God makes a promise, and he puts it in the cloud. The cloud that is not the clouds on a day of rain, but the clouds that are on a day of rain remind us of the covenant, the rainbow that is in the cloud, that is above the throne of the Most High. And when we see it, once again, God will remember his covenant that he made with Noah. That he will no longer curse the ground for man's sake. And as I was just amazed at all of this, the Father, he begins to unpack it, the soil. He says, I wasn't talking about the ground, the earth. It did have impact on the earth, but I wasn't talking about the earth. I was talking about Adam's heart, the ground, the heart of man. The first time was Adam's time, when the ravens ate the seed. That covenant that was given to Noah, that he will no longer curse the ground for man's sake, going to Revelation, where he sees the cloud and he looks on it. And he remembers his covenant that he made with Noah. And that the time of the eagle, when the cloud, when his throne, when the kingdom of heaven once again comes to earth, that the strength of the soil that was taken during Adam's time will once again yield its strength, and they that bring forth 100-fold, 60-fold, and 30-fold will go forward, and they will speak with the mouth of the Most High. They will cast out demons with just a look. They will do things that are far beyond anything this world has ever seen or has ever had recorded. We are about to come into the time of the eagle. Get ready. Get your hearts ready. Prepare your soil. Open up to him. Do whatever it takes. If you have a struggle with pornography, do anything and everything to get rid of it. If you have a struggle with alcohol, anything, any type of device or any type of sin that is holding you back from having perfect soil, from being open for the Father to tend your soil, get rid of it. It's not worth it. Count the costs. Look forward to the reward that Yeshua is coming. Our salvation is coming. Jesus is coming. Prepare. They're almost here.